trying to take over the world.
Woo! Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Here we go!
So close to the real thing, it's like being in the ring.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Get a pizza! Excellent! Cowabunga!
Oh, behave. Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Well, it's Monday, and the boys are back for another episode of the Eddie and Anthony Show. Welcome to the episode. This is going to be quite the fun one today. Let's bring on my co-host.
I don't know if you could hear me, but I can't hear you.
All right, so we can hear you. Can everyone else in the chat hear me?
I'm welcome.
Want to make sure.
Can you hear me?
We can. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I can't hear you, so I'm gonna have to log out, try to go back in. But math guy here.
All right, and Eddie's in a non-traditional place today. He is coming at us from the baseball field where his daughter is playing a game. So she's out there, and I have another guest that's going to be joining us who is a bit of a drink professional, right? Knows a lot about this stuff. Good friend of mine from high school. We're still best friends through today, and I'm going to bring Joe onto the screen. Joe, welcome to the podcast.
How are you? How you doing tonight?
Yeah, pretty good. So I'm happy to have you on. Eddie's back, so I'm going to bring Eddie back in. Joe, you've been in the chat pretty much since the beginning, so
Yes,
it's
I
cool
have.
to have you on.
Good to be here.
And when I was thinking about the show, there were certain things that I know that that made you a real good person to have on here.
Nice.
That I'm excited to share. So
Glad to hear that.
yeah. So and I know there's certain parts of this that Eddie is going to be big on. There's certain parts that I really like. So this should be a fun one. So
Hello,
today,
everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Here we go. I can hear you. We're good.
All right. My brother wants us to make sure that we know that he was first in the chat today.
I promise.
We got Anthony Romanello coming at us from Fort Myers, Florida, and then we have Magic Mike. So far,
Magic
that's
Mike
in the
in the
chat. Magic Mike is back. And it took one whole minute before Mike mentioned Mona. So we got our Mona countdown has officially ended.
That's
1 minute in. So this is going to be a good one. And I want to jump right into it. I think we should jump right in. So what we're going to do today is this is not a ranking. This is no ranking by any stretch. We're going to be talking about drinks that are no more. They may exist in other places, but hard to get, if not impossible, here in New York, where we live at. They may be available in other places. Some of them are only available internationally. Some of them maybe some people haven't even heard of, but that's the point. That's why we're here, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Love the thumbnail, by the way.
Yeah,
That's good.
So it wouldn't do. I asked AI to give you Mountain Dew Code Red because I knew that was your favorite, and this is what they gave. So it's certainly not Code Red, and they also gave you a bit of gray hair, which
it's legit now. I know. I had that issue with an AI version of myself. Yeah.
All right, so let's get right into it.
Mona likes it.
Mona, I'm sure. So what are your memories about drinks that like no longer exist? Like, do you have like specific memories of going into stores like the deli or something like that and buying?
Ecto Cooler is a big one. Ecto Cooler is a big one.
Okay, so Ecto Cooler.
Seeing as a kid and wanting to go to the supermarket as soon as possible.
Okay.
Ecto Cooler has Saturday afternoon Just
Yes.
finished bowling with a thing of SpaghettiOs. That's where I
And-
go for Ecto Cooler. Yep.
And probably Crystal Pepsi is the other one.
Okay.
Because it was
Yeah,
so
and
big. You
So-
couldn't escape Crystal Pepsi when that thing started hitting the airwaves.
Yeah, and I'm wearing an Ecto Cooler shirt. So I'm representing
I
Ecto
have-
Cooler.
He's right here. I have the real Ghostbusters.
All right, and you're having a Ghostbuster shirt. All right, cool.
Mine.
All right, so
Oh, sorry.
what do you got, Ed?
I was gonna say mine is working at Boston Market, 1998, and they had a whole cooler of Fruitopia drinks, and we would take those Fruitopia drinks nonstop to the point. I guess they realized they were losing a ton of money, and they stopped selling Fruitopia drinks at the Boston Market on
That's
Greenridge.
awesome.
It was
Okay,
a fantastic drink. Put it in the freezer, delicious.
Yeah. You know, my brother and I, well, my family, we grew up in Canarsie in Brooklyn, and we had a corner store right on our corner and a bagel shop a couple stores in the other direction. And to me, I specifically remember a couple different drinks from one store, the deli. We would get certain drinks. I'm not going to mention them because we're going to talk about them tonight. And then the bagel shop had a whole different set of drinks that I vividly remember getting. So let's jump into it now. Once again, you know, the chat, we're gonna highlight everything. We're not gonna count every drink. We're not gonna cover every drink because it's just impossible. I already see people talking about Orangina in the chat. So keep talking about that in the chat because it's not in here. So we'll keep it going. You know, we'll definitely bring it up. Just taking a look at the chat, Joe, my brother, this guy's a pro. He's got his headset on, ready to
That's
go.
right.
All right. Magic Mike, you know, shocked that I'm on tonight and not watching Mets baseball. That's okay. By the time we get to it, the game will still be on. So,
We're at
you know,
9:40.
generally the manager doesn't screw up till the end of the game, so I have plenty of time to catch up. So let's jump right into it, and you know, we're gonna jump right in with a banger. Now, none of us were old enough to drink
No.
Zima, but what do you remember about Zima?
The commercials.
Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's what hits me first
Yeah.
is the commercials. So Ed, what do you remember about Zima?
I mean, I've never tried one. I just feel like that was a ladies' drink, right?
So it was an alternative to beer. So while men were drinking beer, women Zima was promoted to women, and it was like this healthy alternative. It was made by Coors, and it was it debuted in 1993, and I remember the commercials. I think that was
Yeah.
the commercials were very distinct. And we have Mike said he drank and sold Zima. Okay.
Wow.
Zima was a big seller. Yeah, I mean, I assume it was a big seller for a short period of time.
So I must ask,
Because
what does it taste like?
Yeah. What did it taste like, Mike?
I mean, it looks refreshing.
It does. That's why I was
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah. I can't, and then one thing that I read that I thought was cool is that people would put candy inside of it to alter the taste.
Really?
So people would drop like Skittles and Jolly Ranchers in there to make it taste different. So it might not have tasted that good if
I never heard of that before until you just said that.
yeah. So they used to just drop like a Jolly Rancher, I guess, let it mix, and if that's the case, you might as well have just eaten a Jolly Rancher.
At that point, yeah.
Maria said, is it like O'Doul's? No, O'Doul's was fake beer. Is a fake beer. This was an actual alcoholic beverage.
I wonder what the percentage was on this.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. For me, this was. I mean, we were too young, but I specifically remember the commercials. Like it was like Grab a Zima or something.
Yep,
It was like they were singing it, Grab a Zima. So definitely an interesting thing. Maria says she likes the top of it, the top of the bottle. I don't know what makes that different than any other bottle. I mean, maybe in the picture it looks like the top comes off and goes back on. Maybe I don't, yeah, I don't know. But so
She
this
fell
is
for the
Zima.
marketing. Yeah.
This is our first drink off the top, and I wanted to make sure we started off with this. So let's head to the next one. Now, I put this on for one reason, and I hope she's watching, because I asked my mother if she remembered these, and she didn't. But well, I'm sure if she saw the picture, I said, "Hey, well, do you remember the name of the wine coolers you used to drink?" Now, do you guys remember these at all?
I remember seeing them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, they don't ring a bell at all.
Yeah, so-
I did look vaguely remember to me.
yeah,
Familiar.
so I remember these. My mother used to drink these. These had about a 10-year run from like the mid 80s through the mid 90s. And they had like the wrapping was like a foil, and then under the foil was the cap, right? The regular bottle that you popped off. Now this was from a company, they were called Bartles and James.
Okay.
And
Oh.
what I remember while I was doing some research about this, what happened here was they used to be a wine distributor, and then there was some crazy taxes on wine, and they went from like making like all this different flavored wine to then switching completely to wine coolers. Right. So to avoid like that tax on the drink.
Interesting.
Yeah. And Anthony in the chat, Bartles and James, it was a ladies' drink. Yep. And this, I put this in for my mom because I know she used to have these in the house. The problem with these kind of wine cooler things is this looks like a bottle of juice,
It does.
right?
And I used to think that as a kid, kinda. I never really
Right.
thought that it was alcohol as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Maria said she remembers these. Always wanted one because they were colorful and looked fruity. Yeah, and I think that's the issue here, right? If a kid could figure out how to open one of these things, Eddie's back. A kid would drink this like juice.
Of
And
course. Yep.
so Frank Bottles and Ed James, thank you for your support. I don't know, was that a slogan there, Ed? I'm assuming that's a slogan of these guys. So, Magic Mike, wine coolers, big seller, drank them too. I never drank these. I feel like by the time we were old enough to drink, like Mike's Hard Lemonade was a
I was gonna
thing.
say that, yeah.
Like
That was-
smearing off
Off
ice,
ice.
and like
Oh.
those were, and those things just like ripped your stomach apart. They never felt good, and you would drink a bunch of them, and you would feel terrible.
I drank
Oh.
one and I felt terrible.
Yeah, you would. This doesn't make you feel good. All right, so those are the alcoholic beverages that we're going to talk about tonight. So we had Zima, and we have the Bartles and James wine coolers. So let's move on. Josta Cola. What do you guys know about Josta Cola?
I've heard the name, but I'm not well versed on Josta Cola.
Okay,
Now this, I don't think I've ever tried this. I mean, it looks.
Is it
No, it's
coffee
not strong.
flavored?
it is. It's not coffee flavored.
Because it looks it.
So this is actually a fruity cola.
Really?
This was made by the Pepsi company, and this is on record as the first ever energy drink. So
Maybe that's why I've heard the name.
So Josta Cola was the first ever energy drink. It had a 10-year run as well, 85 to 95. And people, when they wanted a boost of energy, we didn't have Red Bull back then, they would jump in and have a Josta Cola. Now I was drinking soda back then and going to the store and buying stuff, and I don't think I've ever had one of these.
No, me either.
No, I never tried one of those either.
Oh, we got Mike in the chat in 2000. Knows exactly when it was. He had 6 Mike Hard lemonades and bowled the 260 at Rabs. That's pretty. That's pretty awesome because I bowled 8 strikes in a row and then bowled a 240. So maybe I need a couple Mike's Hards to
Maybe next
get me to
week.
bowl better.
Maybe tomorrow. It's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. I guess Anthony did not like Josta, so I'm assuming he tried it. He said, "I need some energy," while he was out on the mean streets of New York City and had a Josta. I've never had these, so I couldn't tell you what this tastes like. But first ever energy drink, so wanted to make sure this made the cut for us. So I will not be going on eBay buying one to give it a try. It's long past the expiration date on these. If anyone has them still. All right. What about these drinks? You guys remember these?
I do.
Those I remember. Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
like the
all-
taste. I
so
did
Yeah.
not
all
like the taste
sport-
of those.
All
Yeah.
sport thirst quenchers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think these were like a 99-cent store brand of
Yeah.
energy drink. And I feel like we used to drink these quite a bit. My mother would go to the 99-cent store and buy a bunch of these, and this is what we would take to baseball, to school, and things like that. I mean, it was so popular they had machines, all sport thirst quencher machines, and they were clearly endorsed by some heavy hitters there, right? I mean,
Yeah,
in
Ken
the mid
Griffey and,
'90s, who was bigger than Ken Griffey,
Shaq.
Shaq, and I'm not sure who the NASCAR guy is, but for me, it was Shaq and Ken Griffey that really sold it for me as like a top drink. And obviously, this was made to compete with Powerade and Gatorade.
I was gonna say, it kind of looks like Powerade. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly it lost, right?
Yeah.
Clearly
Yeah,
it didn't win. Do you remember drinking this at all? Like Ed, you said you didn't like it, so
I remember the lemon lime.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember having it, but I don't remember the taste.
I don't remember not liking the taste.
I feel like the lemon. I've had the lemon and the lemon, the cherry, and the orange. Those seem to be always the popular colors in every, in every kind of flavor. So, all right. So let's move on again. Crystal Pepsi. So, Joe, I know you have a story for Crystal Pepsi.
Unfortunately, yes.
I feel like I drank it before. I don't remember the taste of it. I feel like I remember Crystal Blue a bit, Pepsi Blue a little bit.
Yeah, I remember both.
But Joe, I'm going to hand it off to you. You can talk about your Crystal Pepsi story.
So Crystal Pepsi. I think it's debuted like in '93. I want to say. My friend, who I don't know if I should remember his name, was Charlie, bought a bottle of Diet Crystal Pepsi off of eBay. And on one fateful night, he says,
So when did he buy this off eBay?
About 2003, so 10 years after the fact.
So 10 years after it was discontinued. Yes. Okay.
On one of our nights where we just did dumb stuff, he says, we had a cool idea. Why don't we take a sip of Crystal Pepsi? How bad could it be? So we went out in front of our friend Mitch's house at the time. We cracked open the bottle and it hissed. And we said, oh, it's carbonated. How bad could that be? I took one sip and it instantly came right back out.
Ugh.
And then Charlie decided to not really reseal the bottle. And about like a few months later, there was like mold growing in his refrigerator.
Ugh.
And he was like, you want to drink it again? I was like, no. I was like, once was enough.
My brother said this stream is giving him some heartburn.
Yeah. And I remember trying it, recently. It came back within like the last, 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was
I bet it's going to come back. I feel with takeaway, obviously there's no dyes in this.
Yeah, because I forgot the YouTuber's name. I think his name was LA Beast. Was famous for he would buy them on eBay and chug them.
Right.
So he started a petition to bring Crystal Pepsi back, and he actually did it.
Yeah. So no, I mean, I remember drinking this. I mean, not like a hardcore. This was one of my favorites, but I do remember it quite a bit.
It really did taste like it just tastes like Pepsi.
Yeah.
Really, to be honest with you.
Right. Now, what about Pepsi Blue? Do you
remember being very sugary?
Yeah. Yeah. What about Pepsi Blue?
Yeah, Pepsi Blue. I remember having it I remember going to a drugstore in Florida and finding it.
Yeah.
And it almost tastes like cough, like a medicine. It was
very raspberry, like a blue raspberry.
Very medicine.
Yeah.
Cough medicine.
Yeah. Didn't taste much like Pepsi to me. Yeah.
So now Pepsi Blue came out in around 2002, and the target was teenagers. They wanted to compete with teens, right? They wanted teens to drink this, and the idea was that it competed with vanilla Coke. Right. Now, I happen to really like vanilla Coke. I think vanilla Coke drinks very smoothly.
Smooth.
I do. You don't.
I haven't had it forever.
You don't think it drinks smooth?
No, don't
no.
think
I kind of like the vanilla Coke. But to think that something that tastes like blue raspberry or cotton candy would kind of compete with, vanilla, Just
Yeah.
I don't understand the comparison and what they. I mean, I guess they were just thinking we have to do something completely
mean,
different.
I assume. I mean, they already had cherry Pepsi at that point.
Yeah.
So
right.
what else fruit could we go? And it was like, well, Blues Raspberry was like the 90s, 2000 things. So sure, why not?
Now,
Right,
cherry
right.
Pepsi is fantastic.
Fantastic.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
But see now, I prefer cherry Coke over wild cherry Pepsi.
oh. Right.
So now Magic Mike in the chat has brought up a couple Hubba Bubba soda. Yeah, Hubba Bubba soda. I don't think I've ever drank Hubba Bubba. But he also said Lifesaver soda. That was another big one. You know, I don't remember drinking that either. Maria said at Johnny Rockets, she used to get them to infuse her Coke with some vanilla.
I'm doing that with cherry, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. For me, I liked Pepsi Blue. But it wasn't great. Like it was, you know, ugh. So, but all right. Well, I want to say I liked Crystal Pepsi more than Crystal Blue. You know. All right. So one of the stars of the show tonight, I think this is something that we're all very excited to talk about because this brings us back so many memories of as kids. And let's talk about it. So, Ed, what is your experience with Ecto Cooler?
Like I said, well, my first thought is, wish this came in a bigger, in a bigger juice box.
Okay.
I felt like 2 sips and you were done with this. I don't know. I could just taste the tang. Had that, I don't know. To me, like a tangy kind of taste to it. And this just, I feel like this is just a staple of, you know, of my childhood. I picture this was just, I don't know. I think I picture this in your lunchbox, and this was just opening it up in the school cafeteria. Your Ecto Cooler. But I was a huge Ghostbusters kid. So I guess the marketing there kind of sold me as a little kid.
Right. Slimer on a box, and I'm
Yeah.
in.
Oh.
So, Joe, I'm going to go to you last for this one because you got a little bit more to talk about. So, this came out in 1989. Magic Mike actually said it in the chat before I could say it here, but it came out in 1989 to kind of go with the movie. You know, I remember drinking this pretty often. And, you know, now there's a brewery down in South Jersey where they make an Ecto Cooler beer. Wow, it's real. I'm going to mute you for a second because it's loud. And I'll unmute you in a sec. But Ecto Cooler is a beer made by the Ship Bottom Brewery. And every October, they put this beer out. And there's a 5K run with it. And then you get to buy the Ecto Cooler. I've had it twice. It is green. I love it. I hope to go back in October, you know, this October to get it again. The cans are cool. It has Slimer on the can, so that's
You got
awesome.
me one.
I do. I got you one, right? So Slimer's on the can, and the artwork of these things are awesome. But now you have a lot to talk about Ecto Cooler. So talk a little bit about your remembering it, and then what you got for everyone.
I remember as a kid, obviously, because of, I mean, huge real Ghostbusters fan. Bought it all the time as a kid. And then, I don't know if you remember, but it never really got discontinued. It became, I think it was like Screamin' Tangerine.
Yeah.
And I found out like maybe years later that I could still get it. I was ecstatic. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, it was off the shelves. And my heart was broken all over again.
So what else? What else do you have for?
Well,
Ecto Cooler?
I've researched many hours on the internet scouring recipes for Ecto Cooler and found a couple that are actually pretty close.
All right, and you're going to share that with everyone?
Yes, I'm going to put them in chat now.
So Joe is actually going to put the link to how to make modern day Ecto Cooler in the chat. So he's got it in there. What is it? 3/4 cup orange juice, 3/4 cup tangerine juice, 1 tablespoon Country Time lemonade, mix 2 teaspoons of Tang and a cup and a half of sugar, and then
a little different measurements too.
Food colorings, right? So that's how you can make your own. So Eddie was saying he wishes that.
And apparently, if I remember, you know, Juicy Juice is orange tangerine.
Yeah,
it's close.
Right.
On its own.
Right. Right.
without all the good sugar in it. of
Yeah.
course.
Okay. Eddie is back. It looks like he's eating a hot dog. What are you eating? Pretzel.
I got a snack stand pretzel. Yeah.
All right. Nice and hungry at the snack stand.
And
Um,
I may also have something else too.
Okay, so you also have something. I'm going to make you larger so that you have
Yes.
the show right now.
So for the 2016 female Ghostbusters, which might be the only good that ever came out of this, they re-released Ecto Cooler, and I have a whole case down in my basement that all expired in the year October 24th, 2016, which I will not be drinking.
I tried to get him to drink it live on camera, but he won't.
Now the Crystal Pepsi was once and done. That was enough.
Wait, that's a legit Ecto Cooler?
Yeah.
So it was released. It was released when
Yeah.
the movie with the
Tie-in.
female Ghostbusters came out. So
Yeah, it was 2016.
yeah, that's pretty cool that you have that. I wouldn't drink that either. That thing would have to stay in a collection.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ignore the chat, so I want to hop into the chat for a second. Maria says, "Can't knock chocolate Coke." That can't be good. I don't think I've ever had it, but chocolate Coke cannot be good. I mean, when I think of any chocolate drink, it automatically makes me think coffee.
I can see that.
I don't
Yeah, the
like
mocha.
coffee, so that would be something that I definitely wouldn't drink. We got a couple people in the chat said sips. Now I remember drinking sips, not too much, but
Sips iced tea. Yep.
Magic Mike, how old is Joe T? JT is my age. We're the same age. You know.
This isn't speed dating, Magic Mike.
We are both getting eerily close. Well, 40 and 41, so we're getting there.
I'll be 42 in December.
Yeah. And then Anthony Romanello said 5 Alive juice drink. I've never heard of it. Have you guys
Yes.
heard of it?
5 Alive.
Yeah, I might.
Very good.
Yeah.
And Maria knows about it. 5 Alive in blue and colorful carton. Okay. And chocolate cow drink.
Chocolate cow.
I don't know. I've never heard of that one either.
No, I haven't either.
When you say you don't like chocolate drinks, Yoo-Hoo falls in that category too?
No. I mean, like anything like dark chocolate, like chocolate Coke would remind me very much of coffee.
Oh, okay.
Now Yoo-Hoo. I mean, now we can talk about Yoo-Hoo now. That's not on the list because you can still easily buy it. How
Sure.
do you prefer drinking your Yoo-Hoo? Can, glass bottle,
Bottle.
or carton?
Glass bottle.
I'm a
Glass
bottle guy.
Yeah, I think the glass bottle is definitely the best. And it's not chocolate milk. Did you know it wasn't chocolate milk?
Yeah, it's like a chocolate drink.
Yeah, that's what it
Because
says.
it's,
in the
it's
bottle.
really just chocolate. I tried. If anyone ever had Yoo-Hoo before, I thought it's just chocolate water.
Right. That's basically what it is. It's chocolate drink. It's not chocolate milk. And Magic Mike liked chocolate cow. Yeah, never heard of it. If it still exists, maybe we'll buy one off eBay and do a tasting.
Sure.
That'll make you feel good. All right. Kool-Aid bursts. What do you guys remember about this?
No, I remember.
These.
I remember the blue one very vividly. The taste.
Yeah. Ed, what about you?
Taking off the top. There was
Yep,
something
rip-
satisfying.
Turn.
Something satisfying about taking off the top on
Now-
these Kool-Aid bursts, Kool-Aid jammers. I think they
Yeah.
all fell in the same.
Now, did these ever quench your thirst?
No.
No, you were more thirsty. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. You were definitely way more thirsty after drinking one of these. And I remember twisting off the top of these and drinking it and then chewing on the top.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, that's another use of the.
Well, you
Kool-Aid
like
burst
the
bottle.
wax. You like that wax kind of candy
Yeah.
taste, obviously.
Yeah, I
so-
do. But this was just, this was just, plastic, right? This wasn't even wax. This was just straight plastic. But I chewed on it forever, and then I would drink another one and I would chew on it. These came in all different flavors, but they didn't quench your thirst whatsoever. My mother used to freeze these, and we used to drink them as slushies.
Huh? Never thought of that.
Yeah, we used to drink, or like as they started to defrost, they were kind of, they were good icy kind of thing. So these were really good. Now Mike said used to get chocolate cow after Little League games at Marine Park in Brooklyn. Mike, by any chance, did you play for St. Columbo Baseball League? Because I used to play against them in Marine Park. So wondering if that's where he used to play. Anthony has Pika. I don't know what that means. Is that Pikachu? Like I Pika. It's not even. It's Pika. He yelled at me from downstairs. Pika. I Is it an oral fixation? I don't know. I don't know what you call that one. But all right. So Kool-Aid Burst. Okay, Mike played for St. Edmunds. Okay, cool. Now, Joe, when we talked about this, you said you remember this guy. So
yes, I remember vividly going to the
What
supermarket.
about the Great Blue Dini? Do you remember?
I remember that it was wasn't it like a raspberry tasting drink?
Okay.
I remember like it was like the only Kool-Aid flavor I would drink as a kid for some reason. The packets.
Okay. Ed, do you remember this at all?
I vaguely remember this. Wait, this is an actual drink, or is this the Kool-Aid packet?
Well, this is the powder that you would pour
Powder.
into
Yes.
water, and it would make it. So
Yes, I remember it. Very sweet. This I liked. I remember my mom making this in our iced tea pitcher. Yes.
yeah. So this was special edition Kool-Aid. This came out in 1992.
Which would make sense. Yep.
And it started off as green powder, and then when you put it in the water, it went from green to blue. And then if you added more sugar to it, it then turned purple. So this had like a couple different variations of it. And that was why it was called the Great Blue Dini, like Houdini, because it would change as you added stuff to it. So I don't remember drinking this, but the Kool-Aid guy is just one of the greatest mascots, I think, in food and drink history. They don't make these commercials anymore of him like bursting through the wall, but this is a flavor that no longer exists, but a very good one. And then the Great Blue Dini was the mascot of this particular flavor. So great flavor. It looks fun. I mean, the idea that it changes different colors.
I never knew that.
Yeah. And I love how they try to make it seem healthy, right? Like, made with real vitamin C. It's like, yeah, okay, this was not real juice. This is not real juice. All right. Now, this is one of those drinks that I vividly remember. I mentioned before going to like the bagel shop, the Snapple Elements. Now, I remember these vividly. More the top four were like the flavors that I specifically remember. But then I remember some of the one at the bottom, those newer flavors. So do you guys remember these drinks?
I remember seeing them. I think I might have had Fire, but I drank more regular Snapple than these.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember drinking these a couple times. No comparison to regular Snapple. I'm thinking the Snapple Rain. I remember seeing in my deli, but I can't imagine these were around that long. I mean,
so these actually had a pretty solid run. These came out around the early 90s and lasted till 2005. And then they did relaunch in around 2022 in more of like the traditional Snapple bottles. But I remember these glass bottles specifically. And I remember going to the bagel shop. It was an everything with cream cheese, and I would mix it up. My favorite one of these flavors was Rain. That was definitely my favorite flavor out of all of these was Rain. So these were super popular, at least in Brooklyn. I remember seeing them in all the cases, in all the stores. So, pretty much, really, really remember these. And Maria's brother, I wish he was on it this time. He was a critic. Oh, he was a real critic last week with our Pixar movies. But now he would have liked this because this made the list. So, I wish he was on to see it.
Now, I'm just curious. Your choice, one of your go-to lunches would be an everything bagel with cream cheese and a Snapple?
No, it was just like a go-to, like a breakfast, right? We would go to the bagel shop and then, everything bagel with cream cheese and Snapple Rain. So
it probably cost you $5. which would cost now
less.
probably 12. Yeah.
Right. Probably less. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're definitely less. Yeah.
And these were bigger than the general
Mhm.
Snapple bottles, like the regular Snapple bottles.
Uh,
All right. Now we did mention this a little bit earlier today. Talk a little bit about Fruitopia and what you think. Tons of flavors here. Tons of
Tons.
flavors.
Tons of flavors. Mine would be, I guess, I can't remember. I mean, the red one. I'm assuming it was like a fruit punch. I don't know if they had specific names to it, but I remember. Yeah, I remember the red, that like teal one. This, I don't know. The flavor of this just tasted. We thought this was fantastic. We would throw this in the freezer at Boston Market, and we would just drink these all throughout our shift. And it's funny because I don't remember drinking them anywhere else, but at work.
Yeah.
I don't
So
ever remember getting one at the store.
I'm looking it up right now. They actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different flavors
Really?
of Fruitopia. Yep. And they all had pretty cool names. So you had Strawberry Passion Awareness, the Grape Beyond, Tangerine Wavelength, Citrus Consciousness, Pink Lemonade Euphoria.
And what was the run? I'm gonna say what 90. I'm gonna go 97 to like 05, 07, around there. Is it?
94 to 2003.
Okay.
So it had about a 9-year run, and originally pitched as a healthy alternative to soda, which, once again, this was definitely not any healthier than a
Absolutely
soda,
not.
right? It was probably the same exact thing. Definitely sweet, definitely filled with sugar, but they were definitely, not necessarily healthy for you. And I want to say I think my favorite was the green. And we'll see later on in this list that the green drinks are kind of some of my favorites. So, and I want to say that one's probably like strawberry kiwi, which is probably one of my favorite drinks. But do you remember the soda machines, the Fruitopia soda machines? And
I remember. I'm trying to remember where I saw one of those machines because ours came out of the pull open like refrigerator. Yeah, one of my favorite. This was each week when you come up. When we come up with the topic, there's always that one example that just pops in automatically, and it was Fruitopia. That was what popped into my head.
Right.
This week. Yeah.
So, do you know this still exists? Not here though. You can get these internationally at some McDonald's. So some McDonald's actually have Fruitopia as an item that you could get and as your drink. Not sure where internationally, but somewhere internationally we can get these. So maybe we'll have to do a trip around the world to figure out where we can get these.
Count me in. Yep.
All right. Now, Slice. I know this came up a couple times in the chat. What do you guys remember about Slice?
I remember lemon lime slice, probably, and the orange one probably the most.
Yeah.
I was gonna say slice orange. I don't ever remember seeing the blue.
No,
I don't even know
me
what
either.
that blue or the green. I can't recall. I'm assuming green's probably lemon lime. I would think, but
yeah. So now these came out in the 80s, and they were phased out by 2000. So they had a solid run. The only one I remember is the orange flavors. Now I know Mike had mentioned, I think, Slice, or Anthony mentioned Slice earlier in the chat. But I only remember the orange.
I remember lemon
else?
lime, and it's funny. I actually vaguely remember something more about Slice. Was the mascot?
Was it a Slice?
No, it was like that. It was like a drawing. If you look it up, you'll see it. And he was actually I don't know why I remember this vaguely as a kid. He was like one of the channels on Saturday mornings. He was like the guy before you would go to like commercial, going back and forward. I don't know his name. I'm telling you, if you Google it, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was like it looked like a stick figure with like curly hair.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Now, Anthony said sliced fruit punch was sweet. So now I'm not sure if he means that it was sweet as a drink or like really just sugary and sweet. I'm not really sure. um, but now they have pineapple and grape. What were your thoughts? What are your thoughts on pineapple and grape soda?
Anything pineapple flavored. I love pineapple juice. So
Okay, I also
I
like
would've tried
pineapple
it.
juice quite a bit. Yeah.
It's fine. I don't really remember had many pineapple flavored things other than pineapple juice.
Yeah. So I like a good pineapple soda, like Fanta pineapple, but I feel weird getting it anytime other than the summer. I feel like it's a summer drink.
Yeah.
So I exclusively drink it in the summer if I'm to have one. All right, let's move on to everyone's
All
favorite.
these things.
Oh, these. All right, these are classic.
So you can still get these, but I think they're made a bit differently.
They're called barrels, I think.
Yeah, I've had them because the girls, we bought them for them. I was so excited, and they did not taste the same as they used
Yeah.
to when I was a kid, and I was so upset.
Now, this is another one of those drinks that made you extremely thirsty
Yep.
after drinking them. Joe, what did you call these?
Quarter drinks?
Okay, quarter drinks.
These are quarter drinks.
Yeah, so we call, in Brooklyn, we call them quarter waters. They were always called quarter waters. They're also called barrels. They're also called huggies. So a lot of people had different names for these. And they came in all different flavors. And yeah, so Anthony,
How do you open your quarter drink?
So I took a bite.
You
Chomped
bite
on it.
in with the two front teeth. Yep.
See,
Pull it
I
back.
do the thumb.
The thumb.
Yeah, yeah. So I definitely went in with the bite at the top, and then if I took the foil off, I had to remove all the foil.
Yes.
So it
Nice,
wasn't one of
yeah.
those that you just
Yeah.
like go around. Like I literally had to peel it all off to make sure there was nothing. Because I feel like it always tasted decently like foil when you drank this.
Yep.
Like,
I'm going for grape. If I had to choose, I'm taking the grape.
yeah,
about
I
you?
might be going blue.
I was
I
red
might
and
be-
blue. I was definitely red and blue, and purple
Maria-
was like if it was around.
Yeah, Maria said too sweet. So I know Maria does not have a sweet tooth when it comes to drinks. Any drink. So I have a juice here, and it's half juice and three quarters water, 1/4 juice. So Maria waters down the drinks for us here at the house. Anthony likes the green barrels. Okay, and Maria used to get them before camp. Yeah, these were a staple. I think if you were a kid in the 90s, you drank these. These were a staple.
Sure.
Well, these were the YMCA. We had these working at the Y at the summer camp. I felt like that's where I had my most quarter drinks.
Yeah. Magic Mike, not a fan of quarter waters.
Mm.
Well, you have high taste. You are a Zima fan. So.
He was drinking Zimas while we were pounding quarter drinks.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thumb added the extra flavor.
JT likes the thumbs in. Yep. Yeah. So, all right, let's move on. There was something I was going to say about these and totally forgot with the thumbs in comment. All right. So Ed, this is yours. I wanted you to talk about it. You're a Mountain Dew guy, so I am too, but you wanted Mountain Dew, so here it is.
I am a total Mountain Dew. I am a Mountain Dew Code Red is my favorite Mountain Dew. Cherry, and I'm usually I wouldn't say I'm a cherry person, but the cherry drink. I have had that dark purple. Not too great. Original Mountain Dew is good. The only diet drink I can drink is Diet Mountain Dew. But I will say in my later years now, I guess, once you hit that 40 mark and you actually read the amount of sugar that's in a Mountain Dew, I can't
in my right mind, drink a Code Red when you see the sugar content is like 180% of your
Yeah.
of your daily, and I'm like, oh my god, the amount of sugar that I drank from these Code Reds. This I would drink as an energy drink, and I guess with the amount of sugar that was in it, I pretty much was drinking. I was drinking like 5 sodas in one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and right now the Baja Blast. When you go to
Okay.
Taco Bell, the Baja
I was
Blast
gonna
is
say
another good
Baja
one.
Blast at Taco Bell is a big one.
Yes, is a big one right now.
And pretty much every Tuesday night we get Mountain Dews at the bowling alley. It gives us a little
Diet
little
Mountain Dew for
jolt
me.
to bowl 150. So
We'll have one tomorrow night.
right. In honor of the show tonight. Now all of these are. It's not that they were discontinued for like poor sales or anything. These were all limited edition flavors. So I think I fully expect all of these to come back around at some point. And I want to talk, like, the can art is really cool, right? Like the cans look great.
They're very eye-catching.
Yeah, like that Major Melon one in the middle, like that looks really cool, right? And I think that's the
Well, I'm a sucker for marketing.
I never knew that was true about Mountain Dew, but that was always like the the urban myth about Mountain Dew.
Well, I mean, Eddie's got 2 kids, drinks a lot of Mountain Dew. I got a kid and another one on the way, and
myth busted.
Right, myth busted.
I do see they have a Mountain Dew Code Red Zero. I'm curious to try to find that and convince myself that whatever's in a diet soda is healthier for you than the regular one.
Ooh, we gotta. My brother Mountain Dew will be losing the green bottles soon, like Sprite. We gotta make sure we get a couple of, we gotta get a couple.
I forgot about the freaking Sprite bottles with the holes in the bottom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Magic Mike, do the do with Mona on a Tuesday night with Ed. Speaking of major melons, how's Mona?
Hey.
I drinks Tab.
she would drink Tab.
Speak of the devil, there she is.
There she is.
Speak of the devil, here is Mona. And
what is she drinking there?
What is she drinking? She's drinking some Five Alive.
Five Alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, that was Mona's drink of choice. This went discontinued in 1933.
Wait, Mona was discontinued or the drink?
Well, both Mona and the drink.
Both.
That's true.
And then Mona had a revival for Who's the Boss, right? But
that's
so Mona makes her weekly appearance. Compliments of Anthony Romanello. So
look, you know what? If we look back at this show and there's one thing we get from it, she's right there.
So I'm thinking towards the end of the year we do a top 10 Mona countdown of the best Mona appearances for the year, because we should have plenty. Mona had the original Coca-Cola recipe with real cocaine.
You know what's funny though? Nothing will beat the first appearance of her showing up on the Valentine Crushes.
Right.
Which is not even the mention of the Mona after the fact.
Yeah, right. And I mean, I think, we're not a huge podcast, but that 5 seconds of silence has put us on the map as really good show once we had Mona on the screen as a crush.
I mean, is there any other podcast out there right now that mentions Catherine Helmond every week?
I mean,
I can't think of one.
No, I can't think of one either. So I'm going to say no.
Moana was doing Who's the Boss podcast, which I'm not sure if she is or not.
I'm going to say that my brother said she has the original recipe with real cocaine. I'm going to say inside the Coca-Cola vault is Mona cryogenically frozen with the real recipe.
Could
She's
be
there. All right. Now, Joe, you mentioned these as soon as I mentioned the episode. You said, "Oh, you mean like Orbits?"
Yeah. It's funny.
Now,
I don't remember drinking Orbits more than just seeing it because it was like it always confused me as a child why you would want a drink with stuff in it.
Okay.
Like it's the thing you would just usually avoid.
Right, right. So these, so my sister-in-law apparently used to drink these. It would figure she would drink something weird like this. I don't know if she was in the chat, but I thought she was watching. Now, I never drank these. These had a very short run. These were Canadian. They only lasted 1 year. And people just didn't like them. The taste wasn't great, and the little gelatin balls in there were very chewy. So it wasn't great. I mean, to me, this looks more like a lava lamp than an actual
does.
drink.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is like a lava lamp. This
Yeah,
is
it's
not-
funny.
this
Yeah,
is not a
I
drink.
can't recall the taste. Like I don't think I've ever had one. I remember seeing them vaguely
Yeah.
and just being confused by the whole idea of it.
But now if you get like bubble tea,
I was gonna say it's
if-
kind of funny how it's kind of like made like a resurgence.
right.
Little
So
do people
now
know
you
back
have this
in
bubble tea, and in those all these bubbas, right?
Yeah.
And people love it. But the ones that are now are much bigger.
Yeah.
These don't look great.
No.
These I can't imagine these tasting very good.
It's funny. I remember vaguely recently seeing someone buy one off of eBay and drinking it,
Yeah.
and it was disgusting.
So I'm just looking at these like one, the cap looks like extra large.
Yeah.
Right? Like it looks like I mean, probably so that the bubbles don't get stuck in
Probably.
right
Yeah.
and jam you up while you're taking a drink of this. But yeah, it looks a mixture of like, you know, when you take chemistry and they have like the molecules
Yeah,
all put
yeah.
together, combination of that and lava lamps, this wouldn't have been I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if it was available, I would have drank it. I just don't remember
Yeah.
it.
Almost
You
looks
know,
like
I
Dippin'
would've-
Dots too.
I would have tried. Yeah, it does look like Dippin' Dots. But I bet you they don't taste like Dippin'
No,
Dots.
they
So I'm
most
gonna say
certainly
I'm gonna
probably
say no on
No.
the Orbits.
No.
It's definitely not a drink. And you know, it would figure my sister-in-law would be the only one that actually drank these, so not surprised. All right. So now we have these two drinks, and Eddie is back. Let's get him
Let
on.
me jump in before I think Abby's on deck. But Jolt, Jolt Cola, I remember that. I remember being like 14 years old and drinking some of those and thinking, I guess, I don't know. I felt like I was drinking a beer at that point because it was like, you can't be having a Jolt Cola. It's twice the caffeine. Little did I know, it's probably less caffeine and sugar than a Code Red Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
But yes, the Jolts I remember getting from my deli on Giffords Lane and going through those, and then the Volt. I don't know. I don't really remember drinking Volt. I'm assuming it's a lemon lime drink, right? I would assume.
It's yeah. I mean, it's like a like Surge and those
Yeah.
kind of drinks. Now I don't think I've ever drank Jolt, but
I haven't either.
I very specifically
Yes.
remember drinking Vault. So yeah, now like you said before, Jolt 2 times the amount of caffeine of a regular soda.
It scared me as a kid. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't drink that.
Yep.
Like I feel like you drink it and then your heart is just like
Yes. Yeah.
you know, it's like one of the cartoons where your heart is
Yep.
just pumping out of your chest. Yeah. But now Volt to me, I like the taste of it. I thought it was good. I don't know. I feel like did you ever look at some of these drinks and like bring it back like to like Ninja Turtles and it was like the ooze, it was like that
I can see that.
fluorescent-
Yeah,
the
Volt definitely looks
fluorescent
like that. Yeah.
green that attracted me to you know, like it was green like Slimer, it was green like, you know, slime from Turtles. Yeah, so and Magic Mike said Jolt was a huge seller. I don't remember ever seeing it. I mean, when I was doing some research on this, the logo, none of this kind of rang a bell to
Jolt
me.
definitely stuck out to me. I remember seeing like advertisements in like magazines for like Jolt.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely doesn't ring a bell.
I
to
wonder
me.
what the run was when that stopped. I mean, was that a short production run? I mean, I could ask Magic Mike. I didn't know he pushed soft drinks for a living. But
So Jolt went from 1985 to
85?
2009.
Really?
wow,
So it
2009.
had a pretty long shelf life. Now the Vault had a much shorter shelf life, 2005 to 2011. This was a hybrid. It was an energy drink slash soda. I mean, I guess much the same as Jolt, although Jolt seemed to be all energy drink. And it was there to compete with Mountain Dew, right? So it was a Mountain Dew alternative. And Anthony is saying Jolt was huge in the 80s. Oh, big in the 80s in college. Yes. So this was your 80s Red Bulls, right? It was the 80 Red Bulls.
Jolt.
All right.
Yes.
Squeeze it. Yes, I couldn't think of the name. Yesterday I was in Stop and Shop and I saw the Kool-Aid Jammers. And I'm saying to myself, there was something before the Kool-Aid Jammer. And this was it, the Squeeze It. Yep. Couldn't think of the name.
So these had a run of mid 80s through late 90s. And each flavor had a different different face molded to the bottle. And they all had funny names. So a couple of the names that I saw that were funny was Grumpy Grape and Chucklin' Cherry. So they all had these, fun, rhyming, catchy names. But very much like the Kool-Aid Burst, you drank these and you were thirsty.
What's with the coupon? I'm trying to understand that.
Save 0 cents.
I like it, right? You're not saving nothing, right? Does that mean it's just regular price?
I was going to say.
Now, I got to be honest. I think it would be kind of cool to have one of each flavor in a collection, just to have the bottle.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
We might have to go on eBay and see what we can do.
Squeeze it.
It's what I need. I need more things to.
I remember the commercial too.
I do remember the commercial.
Like, it was the same thing since like each character was like a different face. Like they behaved differently too.
Yeah. So these were cool. I remember that once again, you drank this, you were more thirsty. I can't see anywhere on here. Does it? Oh, made with 10% fruit juice, right? That was a lot of fruit juice in these.
10%.
10.
Wow.
10%. But these are cool, and I think the different faces make them pretty cool. All right, we're getting close to the end.
I can go grab myself one right now.
Now, they are not the same as they used to be. There was something about going into the deli, grabbing your cup, giving a couple pumps, and making your drink.
Yep.
I don't know. You haven't had one from the Little League recently. They come very close.
Well, I'm saying the machines are not necessarily the same, right? Like they look a little different. It might be, in like the frozen drink ones, right? It's just not the same as these. Now, what was your go-to flavor here? Mine was definitely the lemon lime and the cherry.
Yep.
Blue.
I like blue.
Okay. Yeah. Now, when you went to the store and you saw the pumps, how many times did you put every pump in one drink?
I think I did that once. I do remember doing that.
I did a handful of times.
Right, and it just turned like purple.
Yep.
Right. It was like a dark.
Well,
color.
it's like when you would go to like any like the Burger King, and you had to put every soda in there and make like mud water.
Right.
And it never tasted like anything remotely like anything.
Right. But this was super cool logo. I was actually going to buy a shirt, Slush Puppy shirt, so I had it for tonight, but I forgot I had my Ecto Cooler shirt, so I didn't have to spend any money on today's episodes. Maria and I do have a Slush Puppy Christmas ornament that makes it to the tree every year.
Nice.
And I'm going to say, if I was ever to buy a machine, like a drink machine, I think I would have to have a Slush Puppy machine. I think that would be cool to have in like a man cave at some point. Like an old school,
as long as the cup rotates on the top, you'll be good.
Right. Like I need this to be in full working order. I think this would be pretty awesome. All right, and this is the final slide, the final drink for tonight. I'm sorry, I'm biased. I put this one last because I wanted to really talk about this. Surge was one of my favorite drinks when it came out. Did you guys drink Surge at all?
A little bit. It wasn't my favorite.
I've had a couple of them. I mean, my eyes are drawn to the Fanta in the back of this picture, but yes, not a huge fan of Surge, but I have drank it. I have.
So I remember drinking it as a kid. It was generally always out of the bottle,
Mhm.
not cans. And then it kind of disappeared for a little bit, and then reappears at certain times. But I think now it's like dead. So I've had this 3 times recently. My brother liked Surge, so that's cool. Surge was amazing. And I've had this 3 times recently. So the first time was I have a picture of Maria and I up there. This is when we first started dating. We went down to Florida. This was our first like away trip together right after COVID. And we went to Atlanta Braves game at the new Truist Park, but we stopped at the Coca-Cola factory in Atlanta, Georgia, and in one of the fridges, it was completely stocked with Surge cans. And I only bought one. I wish I bought more than that. But that's where I had it there. And then the picture in the middle, my friend Matt and I, we went on a baseball road trip up to, we went to Binghamton, Rochester, and Syracuse. And it was raining while we were in Syracuse. So we went to the mall and they had like an escape room. So we did a couple of the escape rooms. You could see the patches from the rooms there. And in their fridge, they had Surge. And then the third picture of me holding the Surge, that was from the Coca-Cola store in downtown Disney, in Disney Springs. And they, on the top floor, were making like Surge cocktails and all different drinks made with Surge. So that was the last time I've seen Surge retailed. But I this was one of my favorites, probably next to like a cherry Coke, my favorite soda that I think I've ever drank.
You should move to Denmark. It's still around.
Denmark is kind of far.
It's called
But
Urge.
if anyone, yeah, it's right. I want Surge, right? I feel like
Apparently, it's just called Urge.
if this ever came out again, I think I would have to do what you did with the Ecto Cooler and make sure I have a can to hold out, right? Because this I would definitely want this. All right, so that's our list. So we went through about 20 different sodas, different drinks. This was fun. This is a good episode. I
Thanks
feel
for
like,
having me.
yeah,
I'm thirsty.
right, but I want a Surge, and I'm not going to get one. So that's kind of it. So I don't want to keep us on longer. We hit an hour, so that was great. Great timing on the show.
Huh?
I want to thank everyone who's in the chat and talk to us about the different sodas and drinks that you've drank. Joe, I want to thank you for being a guest. We look
Thank you for
forward to
having
having you on again.
Yep.
Ed, thanks for jumping on while you were at the baseball game.
I know. Apologize. I got people dizzy probably, but I didn't want to miss it.
All right. So for all of you that joined, please do us a favor. Hit the
Yes.
like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified when we do our next video. Next week, so Eddie threw out a couple hints of potential shows. And I think Joe was an awesome step in. All right.
Thank you.
Joe got his, so Eddie threw out a couple different episodes to me in text message, and I got one, and I feel like I'm very, I'm ready to go. You mentioned like TV moms and TV dads.
Yes.
And I think next week we should do TV dads. I'm all about it.
I think that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I think that'll be a great episode. There's literally a million TV dads that we could put on the show. So we're looking forward to next week's show. I'm going to start right away. I'm putting it together. I don't know how many we're going to do. We could do a top 10 each. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Or do we do it just like what we did today, where we kind of just list a bunch and go for it? So we'll figure it out. But until next time, we're going to say see you later, and we're going to sign off. So everyone have a great night, and thanks for watching.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Night.